How do we register buyers? Buyers, as we see, are primarily the bulk buyers. So as bulk buyers, typically the biggest segment would be the hotel and the catering industry. So typically the chefs or the procurement managers who are in charge of buying for a hotel unit or a catering unit would be a primary customer. So they will come and put in their requirements. For example, typically what do they buy on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Secondly, we have categories like exporters. Typically exporters buy in bulk in very large quantities, like for example typically 15 to 20 tons, because they usually need to take it as a whole container because they need to send it abroad. So their specification would be a lot more tighter in terms of, because these will be set by other countries' expectations, and a lot more tighter in terms of qualities and the kind of irradiation techniques and all which has to be applied. And not all the farmers can adhere to that, but they can have other intermediate buyers who can now supply to them. We are also having food processors, typically people who make juices and jams and processed items. So they register and they kind of say what are the kind of products they are making. And interestingly, the food processors also, what we are guiding them is to pick up the products when there is oversupply situation. So typically all the farmers, when they grow a particular product at the same time, it hits the market at the same time, prices crash, and invariably you see farmers dumping these products. So these are sometimes when food processors can pick it up at a slightly cheaper rate by offering a better price than what the market is giving. So that way that the farmers at least don't see it as a loss during the bad seasons. And we also have say the supermarkets, like retail chains who procure. Typically their requirements are small quantities, but they have a large number of items which they procure. We also have a lot of organic stores coming up, since there's a lot of demand in the urban. And their supply chain is even more skewed because there are very few organic farmers and very few organic buyers at this point. But giving the nature of the online search engine, we have a very specific scope by setting it as an organic buyer. So that way the matching is a lot more specific. And that way currently the route is, the current mandi system does not have an organic only stores or organic only chain. So that is why everything is getting mixed up. So by creating these separate chains, we feel that the organic growers can directly map to the organic buyers, bypassing a lot of the mandi kind of situations where the prices are not as good as the regular market prices which they want. So these are some ways by which buyers can directly start putting their requirement demand, and they can also keep updating it as and when their needs change. And we encourage them to directly meet the farmers, and also go to one of the questions they ask is like, does eFarm do the handling and procurement? No, we don't. So we encourage you to go. It's just like fixing a marriage, like, see us more as a matrimonial portal. We are showing the brides and the grooms different choices. So you also have a choice of different farmers. You also have a choice of different locations. We understand that because of seasonal changes, suddenly if there is rain in one area, you can't stop your production or you can't stop your unit. So you need to quickly find alternatives. So this gives you alternatives. Please continue to have your own existing sources, but start sending your team out, interfacing with the farmers, identifying farmer associations, and build new relationships so that your procurement and supply chain is a lot more streamlined, and you can start setting some cost expectations and all to bring down a lot of the vagaries currently which are there. We can assist you in some of these planning activities as a separate consulting kind of exercise, but as a portal, typically we expect the buyer and the seller to directly meet, directly set the prices, and directly set the expectations without any interference from any third party.